Welcome back to Flow and Tell. I'm Josi Flotron, and today is July 10th, 2026, that I'm making this audio recording. Today is also my 1,449th day since I first picked up a flow rope. Now, the reason I'm really calling this out today is that a few days ago, on my 1,446th day of flow, or what would have been if I had actually picked up my flow rope, I missed a day of flow. Now, if you follow the Flotron Method at all, you know that what we teach here is 10 seconds is your daily minimum practice, because there's not really much of a day that can't include 10 seconds for your flow. And yet, I missed a day. So this is actually in the 1,449 days since I first picked up my flow rope. This is the second time that I have missed a day. And I'm making light of it here because these things happen. These things happen to me. There I am switching my rope. We're speeding up the footage here just a second. But I really just want to celebrate the fact that these things happen and it is completely okay. When I taught yesterday morning, I opened the class with my share, which was, hey, you know how I tell you to always do a minimum 10 seconds and not miss a day of flow? Well, sometimes even I am going to miss a day of flow. And what happened when I missed my day was I woke up the next morning and it was the very first thought in my head. Oh my gosh, you forgot to get your rope out. You forgot to flow. Oh my gosh. And the cloud over my head at that moment contained all of these thoughts that contained guilt, fear, shame, a complete buffet of failure, right? So what happened instead is that because I have spent 1,449 days being present with my movement in a way that has given me the ability to be present with myself, I was able to look at those thoughts and choose that none of them were worth holding. There was zero reason for me to take on any guilt, any shame at all around missing a day of flow, even though I am publicly out there telling people 10 seconds, I've never missed a day except one day. I mean, all the things, right? Perfect storm. So it's really a beautiful practice, and the full beauty gets revealed when we are inside of it in a way that we come up against the parts of ourself that we are ready to flow through in a different way. So Flow and Tell for me is both a place where I share with you the truth that is inside of my flow, and also a place that I get to come and be accountable to myself for what this practice can be, knowing that it is a living practice and that my experience of it as a guide for others who want the same experience is thoroughly valid, even on days when I miss a day of flow. Now, if you want to know the inside of that, I will share it very briefly here. This second time that I missed my flow practice was a day when I was scheduled to be on a train, a ride that was supposed to take 4.5 hours. Well, things happened, and that train ended up taking 10 hours to move in the distance I was hoping it would move me along. And the cascade of silliness that all of that brought about meant that at the end of the day, I thought about getting my flow rope out and then brushed my teeth and went to bed and forgot completely until the next morning. So in those times and spaces when we forget something and we then encounter a structure of thoughts that could be a place of self-judgment, we have the opportunity to change the thoughts that we choose to think. And if this seems like something that's really far away in your experience right now, that is completely okay. When I began this for 1,449 days ago, those things were really far away in my experience too. But every time that I picked up my rope and rolled it, they got a little closer. So Also, the other time that I missed a flow day was very early on, but it was the same thing. I was flying back from Costa Rica and delayed flights. I think I threw my back out. It was such silliness, and I missed a day of flow. But these are the opportunities for compassion in a really applicable way to life. And just want to leave you with one more thought here, which is that the skills that we are developing physically when we flow with our rope, these are phenomenal skills, but it is truly, in my opinion, it's the invisible skills of how we care for ourselves that are also being developed that have as much, if not more, value. And what I mean with that is the skill to start to experience something like frustration and instead transform it into flow. The skill to wake up with a thought that, oh my gosh, I forgot to do the one thing that my entire world is predicated upon, and choose to forgive myself for having any moment of thinking I needed to wear guilt or shame for that. Flow, baby. This is why you're here, to be part of the life that you are, and to recognize that that isn't something that's limited unless you limit it. So the forgiveness to be present is the permission to be present, and that is the power of being present. 1,449 days of lessons that I have been able to learn because I've given myself the space inside my flow practice. You can too, and I'm really excited for all the places that this can take each of us, but only you know the truth inside your flow. Thank you for spending this time with me. I wish you all the most joyful and compassionate flows this week, whether your rope is in your hand or not. This is how we do the work. See you next week.